What's up, everyone? Welcome to the podcast, a show dedicated to talking about all the progress things in life, like music, content creation, and video games. Dude, I love the tradition of cracking a cold one. I need to save something to be cracking. What you got? Did you just move a Mountain Dew can so that you could put a Mountain Dew can? Oh my God, and I see a Mountain Dew can and a Red Bull can and a... The simulation is breaking. The
only one of those
Mountain
Dew cans is from today. The Red Bull can that's like a week old.
Oh, secretly, it's like the Asmongold office.
Yeah, you should see all the cockroaches behind me, dude. I like if I drink a can to the point where like a can is empty. At that point, it is effectively like that's what I'm looking for. There's no motivation for me to move that can.
It's empty. It's weightless. It just doesn't really exist anymore. I've extracted the value out of it.
It's only until I have like a completely empty trash can that suddenly everything is like, oh, okay, yeah, everything goes in, and then I clean at once. You know, it's my Factorio days have gotten me into like I need to wait until I have a conveyor belts before I'm gonna do any of the individual things, you know. So
that's actually really funny. I am the same way. I will let like water bottles and cans and coffee cans just like overflow out of the trash can for like a week, and then you just like clean it all up, and then in 6 hours later it's filled, and I leave it.
I'll let it overflow until I get one paper plate, to which I can put it on top and go. And now I've got 3 more weeks left of the.
Yes.
But like I don't know why. There's just something about like a bunch of completely dry, empty cans that I just don't want to like push down on that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
I feel that.
Anyway,
I feel that. Well, what's up, man? I saw you back on a little Mewgenics.
Yeah, dude, fuck that game. Oh my God, dude.
Did you ever like finish it?
Nope.
No. Okay. And then you came back and you're already like, freak that shit.
I've been at like 62% completion for like 2 weeks now. It's dude, there's 3 acts in the game, and act 3 is just fucking impossible.
Just
dude.
Hard.
I don't care if like all the gamers are gonna laugh at me because like I'm skill issued or something. It's so fucking hard, bro.
Yeah.
It's so hard. You have to face Hitler 2.0 is basically like the first boss of
really
first or second boss. I forget now like how many areas there are
of Act 3.
Of Act 3, yeah.
Okay.
And I can beat him. The problem is it's actually not trivial to just even get to him.
Yeah.
But then even if you get to him, the fight is just so brutal. Given at least like I'm sure there's like team comps and stuff that like maybe make it trivial or like but I always end up with like 1 or 2 cats survive.
Yeah, and you gotta you have to roll through basically the whole act with whatever crew you set out with, right?
Yeah, and that's like it's either the first or the second part of that act. I think it might be the first one. And then once you do that, then you basically so you get to the first act, and if you get to the end of that, then you can hop in a time machine, and you can either go forward in time or back in time. Forward in time, you end up in the future, and you basically like fight Mecha Hitler. Back in time, it's a whole different thing. But once you beat him, then you can go further forward in time, and it just like gets twice as hard starting there. And then so now it's like you have 1 out of 4 of your team left.
Yeah.
Enjoy playing an already like impossible act.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. And it's one of those things where it's like it's a roguelike, but at the same time there is this persistent like cat like breeding sort of thing. So what happens is you get like your 4 best cats, and then you go and you get fucking obliterated, and everything's gone. So you come back and you get like your 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, which is less likely you're going to succeed. You get obliterated, and now you have 3 kittens and nothing left.
And I was wondering, what do you do at that point? Can you like go like in that persistent save? Can you then like go play Act 2 a couple of times to like breed? Is that what it is? Basically, you then go set out to like breed better cats to then try to go do Act 3 again.
Yeah, it's just not as exciting because it's like, why do I want to go to Act 1 and Act 2?
Yeah.
When I
can
like,
see
progress?
that. Yeah, for sure.
So that's basically what I've been spending most of my time doing. It's almost just like biting the bullet,
running low tier dungeons in an MMO, like because you're hoping for the drop.
Runs.
Yeah, you're hoping for the drop to then so that you can go get the gear piece or whatever. So okay. I was wondering how that worked. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, at this point I'm low on gear, so I have to do 0 to heroes until I can hopefully take down.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, and the problem is that there's something very satisfying about the game when it's going well.
Yeah.
When your team is like fucking sick.
Yeah. When it's like synergizing and yeah.
Because then you can roll through and you can, when it branches, and you can take like the easy path or the hard path. The hard path is like twice as long, but after every fight, one of your guys levels up, which is like, every single one can be like a noticeable power increase. So by taking, if every act has like multiple parts and it branches multiple times, you can basically get like a god tier squad by the end. And at that point, it's like earlier today, I had this combo that I kind of accidentally stumbled upon, which was like, so the first time I played, it's funny. I faced a boss. Okay. The first time I played, I like moved one character, moved another character. The third character went, and he like has this powerful attack that hits like 3 to 7 times or something. Now, what I didn't realize is that like this particular enemy, when you hit it every time, no matter how much damage, it spawns like a little minion, like I don't know if it's a spider or whatever. So I was like, did a bunch of damage, but he has like 400 HP, and I did like 40 damage, which is a lot.
Yeah,
but like not that much.
Yeah,
and now there's 8 little guys. And so when you look at the turn order, it's rather than be 1, 2, 3, 4 boss, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 boss, minion.
Yep.
Which then if the next turn you hit him, well, now that adds another minion. You hit him again.
Yeah.
And something happened where like he charmed one of my guys who was like really powerful.
Charmed him?
Charm is basically just like if you charm them for a turn, that means for their turn, they're on the other team.
Oh,
and my guy who I spent the entire time making powerful went poof, one shot, game over. It's like, oh my God. Like, so.
And you just lose that whole squad forever.
Before the animation was over, Alt F4. Start the game over, and then you get the screen saying, you fucking save scumming piece of shit.
Yeah.
Don't do that again. But like that's how quickly the game turns around.
That's
where it's
insane.
Like smooth sailing until your team just perma-deletes in one, like out of nowhere. But then like when I played it the second time through, what I ended up finding was an infinite combo turn 1 trivialized it. So I have a character that basically it's an archer, and he can shoot like a bunch of arrows that all like have a random chance to hit in like an area.
Yeah.
And it had a passive, and that cost 5 mana.
Okay.
It's like a secondary spell. So, but he had another spell that basically said, when you kill an enemy, gain 5 mana.
Gotcha.
So I hit the big boss and a bunch of other enemies. He spawned a bunch of little guys, and then I just kill all the things.
And then you get 5 more mana.
And it's just like, because normally what happens is you do like one attack and then like one ability, and you're out of mana.
Yeah.
And you wait until the next turn. But this one was just like, So there's crazy fucking nuts broken combos, but there's also
it's like that goes both ways. Yeah,
there was one dude where I made this cleric who normally clerics are good for healing, right? But this cleric became like a Giga Chad like fighter somehow.
Really?
And he was like my fucking ace in the hole. Like he was where all the power was in my team.
Yep.
So right before I'm about to do one of the boss fights, there's like one of those random events, which normally it's like you have a fight and then it's like event, item drop, fight. Event, item drop, fight.
Yeah. Oh,
event,
yeah. On the map.
shop.
Yeah.
So there's just all those. Well, random event. Click on it, and all of a sudden it's you just get a fucking plagued like. It's just an RNG. You get a bad thing, and that bad thing was my cleric had a disorder, like a mutation that gave him a disorder, and that disorder was he gains madness whenever he kills an enemy. And what madness is you don't know who's your enemy.
Oh.
So basically, if I go and I kill anything, it was you gain madness and take an extra turn after this one. So what would happen is that guy would go poof, kill a thing, turn would end, go walk up to the next thing, go poof, turn would end, walk up to my guy, poof, turn would end, walk up to enemy, poof, turn would end, walk up to guy number 3, poof, turn would, and it was like he would just delete the whole screen, but it was like deleting my guys also. So it's like, great. I'm like 20% of the way through a run that was a banger run, and now it's just fucking over. Like,
yeah,
because now I can't fight with this
you
guy.
Got freaking
otherwise,
herpes out of a chest or whatever. Like,
and sometimes it can be cool, but other times, it's just like, and it's like, you know, there's one thing to be able to like adapt to changes. It's another thing when like you don't really get that many choices.
Yeah.
If you just get an unlucky thing and then you go to do a boss fight. Well, what happens when that unlucky thing makes it almost impossible for me to do the boss fight?
Yeah, like if there's not time to adapt the run, where like if you had like, you know, your cleric is going to get madness into fights or something, and then like you have time to be like, okay, well, who am I going to stack into fighting? Should I stack my, you know, should I try this, you know, if it's just like that, and then go to a boss fight when you're like, okay, well, I can't use this cat or else I'm just going to insta kill the whole board.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is that like even if it was in 2 fights, I know it's just an arbitrary thing, but like in 2 fights, what you're going to get is one. Someone's in chat asking me if I was on Marathon on Rooftop. Lol, someone is being me. Yeah, no, it wasn't me. GG, though.
GG.
I either wrecked you or you wrecked me. Me. Yeah, but so... And the guy's name is No Ratting. LOL.
Anyways, if it was in 2 turns, it still wouldn't really matter.
Because, like, what can I do? What I can do is...
Yeah, I guess I don't know enough about the game, yeah.
There's multiple random events for which I have no control, and one fight for which one of my characters, 1 out of 4 of them, will just level up once, which is randomly choose a buff.
Okay, so there isn't really like adapting a run. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, the game has been fucking rough. So basically, like honestly, lately I start up the stream and I play Mewgenics for like an hour before I'm like, fucking dude, I'm just like done.
Yeah.
It's like the problem is that like right now, it's actually not. It's not super fun playing it. But when things go well, it's very satisfying.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like addicting in a way.
For sure.
So it's like it feels like kind of like Tarkov, where when you lose, it just feels like fucking shitty.
Yeah.
But when you win, it's like, well, it's not winning in Tarkov is like exciting in a different way. It's like heart pumping.
Yeah, this is much more. I can see this being less like adrenaline stress inducing, but a lot more just like when
I like being able to click on my guy, click on an enemy gets deleted.
Yeah.
Click on an enemy.
And and more like I love it when a plan comes together. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
I tried a thing, I thought of a thing, I said, I wonder if I tried this, will this, and then you hit it, like that's a different type of like satisfaction than just like I clicked 3 heads and then got a bunch of goop and got out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I will say it's similar to Isaac in that way, and that like it's and I guess maybe some other roguelikes like Vampire Survivors and even Mega Bonk, where it's like it's most enjoyable when you feel like a god and it's easy.
Yeah.
It's like not fun to be challenging.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's like
it can be satisfying when it's a challenge and you win.
Yes.
But it's a power fantasy in a weird
but the
way.
Chase are the items that you're like, oh, the I win items. You're like, yeah, that is interesting.
So
have you at all? I mean, I'm sure you've been asked this a trillion times, but I'm sure we're gonna have to talk about it on the podcast at some point. How are you? Are you into Slay the Spire 2? I've never played Slay the Spire, but I just know of the weight it throws around in the roguelite space. And then I saw Slay the Spire 2 came out. And then somebody came into chat earlier and was like, LOL, Slay the Spire has 580,000 concurrent players right now. And I was like, no, it does not, bro. And then I looked it up and it did. And I was like, holy shit.
I think it was a play test.
Maybe early access, a play test could be. I'm not sure.
Yeah, one of those two. I was trying to figure out. I thought I had played Slay the Spire, but I might be mixing it up with something because it's not in my.
Oh, in your library?
It's not in my library. I could have sworn I played it. I might be. Oh wait, am I mixing it up with Darkest Dungeon? I am mixing it up with Darkest Dungeon.
Okay.
What the fuck is Slay the Spire? Wait, I thought
it's
it
like a deck builder,
exactly like...
deck builder roguelite.
Oh, okay. So when I saw Slay the Spire 2, when I looked at it, it reminded me visually of my memory of Darkest Dungeon. So I was like, I played the first one. The first one didn't really resonate with me a ton, thinking about Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah.
I think I played like 5 hours or something of, actually not even, maybe 2 or 3 hours of Darkest Dungeon. But so now I want to go back and look at it again because I saw it at Slay the Spire. Yeah. Someone came in the other day and was like, "OMG, no Slay the Spire 2?" And I'm like, what is what?
Yeah.
I never played the game. I never heard about it. No one said anything to me. I've never talked about it. It's never been on my radar.
Apparently, once again, I most of what I know about roguelites is through you. Or recently through like watching Northern Line ever since Balatro. That was when I like started getting into watching him. But it apparently is up there in terms of like weight of like Isaac and stuff like that in terms of like I would have never in a million years guessed a deck building roguelike would have 500,000 concurrent players during a early access. And I love it. I mean, it's like, it's not my thing, but like, I love it, right?
You played Balatro.
I did play
That's a deck building game, and you know how fire that game was.
No, you're right. You're right. 100%.
It's got all the
what I was going to say was there's nothing about looking at Slay the Spire that makes me want to play it, but I also felt that exact same way about Balatro. Like you were playing it and you like showed me footage and stuff, and I was like, yeah, like, and then I downloaded it and I was like, holy shit, this is so fun. Yeah, you really just don't get it until you play it 100%. So yeah, maybe I would freaking love Slay the Spire. I don't know.
I played Darkest Dungeon for 34 minutes. Sorry, Darkest Dungeon 2.
2, yeah.
For 34 minutes. Back in 2023. I'm positive I never played
Slay the Spire.
So now I'm gonna watch the trailer again.
If Mewgenics is not hitting and you're looking for something, I mean, I've heard a lot of people in chat, once I started talking about it, were saying that they played a lot of Slay the Spire and they said that they're really enjoying the second one so far. So could be a
Oh, and you know what I watched?
Could be a banger.
it kind of looks like, now that I'm looking at the trailer, it almost looks a little bit like Inscription, which is one of the Daniel Mullins games.
Yes.
That was
One
one
of
of
your
those
top games, right?
It's a game that
Within a game, yeah.
It's a game that isn't like the game you end up playing is not the game you start playing.
Yeah.
So shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at this again. I might give it dude, yeah, it already has 2 days ago, it already has 10,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews.
Yeah.
Oh, it's early access, $25. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm gonna play that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that a try. I'll let you know next week.
Yeah. This morning it had 520,000 people playing, which is just insane. Freaking insane, bro.
I wonder how Mewgenics was affected by that. I mean, not that
a game has to fail for another.
It doesn't matter. I'm just curious to
curiosity,
know.
for sure.
Because Mewgenics was the game that everybody was looking at Steam charts going, holy fuck. And now it's like, now everybody's talking about that, and there's actually crossover.
Here's the crazy thing. This morning, Slay the Spire 2 had 520,000 people playing. Mewgenics' all-time peak is 115,000.
That's pretty nuts.
It's nuts. Right now, there's 47,000 people playing Mewgenics, which is like, for over 20 days since launch, having like 50% of the concurrent players feels great. Like, that's a lot of people playing the game right now.
Yeah, it looks like that. So, damn. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait, 500,000 times $25. Is that $12.5 million?
That's how many people are playing right now. That's not sales.
Oh my god.
That's how many people are playing. Well, we're playing this morning at one time. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. That's what surprised me. Like, there's roguelites are cool, and then there's like, this is a really good roguelite, but never in a million years. Like, when 3 weeks ago, when we were talking about how Mewgenics had 100,000 concurrent players, I was mind blown. I was like, that's insane. That's really sick for like a roguelite, like a more niche game. Like, that's so sick. 500, like, I just would never in a million years would have guessed that. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane. Like, that's more than like Call of Duty and Battlefield 6 combined right now, certainly. Undoubtedly.
Yeah, that's nuts. And I saw earlier, randomly on Twitter, Mr. Beast respond to like a Dexerto tweet about the game.
Oh, really?
Like, wait, Slay the Spire 2 is out? How? Question mark.
That's funny.
Like,
that's so funny.
I bet you he's paid
show
$800 million to say that.
Yep. Clearly.
He's one of those accounts that I constantly see in my feed for whatever reason. And his tweets are behind like a paywall.
Mr. Beast?
Yeah, and I wonder, I'm like, who the fuck is paying? Who's paying?
Yeah.
Like, I makes me wonder if Mr. Beast's if his like core market for that is like content creators who wish they were Mr. Beast.
That's I was thinking the same thing. Like, I when you said that, I was like, once a month he probably does a post where he was like, recent ideas around YouTube. And then it's just like paywalled, and it's like 100,000, young aspiring YouTubers pay to see the post or whatever. I've never seen, I don't follow him on Twitter, so I don't know. But that was the first thing that came to mind when you said that. I was like, I bet. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so I did now. Quickly speaking, I did also try Risk of Rain 2, which has long since been a meme on my channel.
Okay. Dude, that's a game I just hear of all the time, and
oh my god,
that is not at all. What's that game? What's that game from the Detroit Become Human people? An older game that has rain in the name? Freak me. Never mind. I did not think Risk of Rain was pixel art. I keep getting it. Heavy Rain. Google Heavy Rain game, and every time I've heard Risk of Rain, that's what I was thinking of.
Isn't that like fucking like before I even search for it, when I think of Heavy Rain, I think of like almost like Resident Evil.
Yes. Every time I've ever heard of Risk of Rain, that's
oh my god, it looks exactly like Resident Evil.
This is what I've thought of every time I've heard the words Risk of Rain. Okay.
Yeah, well look at Risk of Rain 2.
Okay. 2. Oh, okay.
It's very like Mega Bonk.
Yes, I was about to say very Mega Bonk.
When you look at it, although it's like not like a meme filled game, it's so the reason why it's a meme in my channel is because for the last like 7 years, whenever I'm listening to my own music on stream, which honestly I haven't really listened to my own music for years on stream, but back in the day when I used to, people would always go, is this Risk of Rain 2?
Interesting.
And it got to the point where it got to the point where the more people asked it, like the more it became like self-referential.
Yeah.
Like I thought people were just asking it to make a joke, not because, like, but I will say, and the funny thing is, the moment I said Risk of Rain 2, the first chat message was, the soundtrack in that game is stellar.
Dang.
So, which I take as a compliment, the fact that every time anybody was ever like Risk of Rain, this sounds like Risk of Rain, I'm like, no, this is my music. I started playing yesterday and I played for like a couple of hours. It was the game was definitely sick. I could see it being like really, really addicting. I don't know if it got its claws into me just yet, but I will say the soundtrack is fire.
Okay.
And I'm flattered, and it's honestly, I don't know that I deserve the comparison, but I'm probably going to give it some more attention.
Yeah.
Although now we'll see
interested in Slay the Spire.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. I've just been going back and forth between Mewgenics and Factorio and a few other things because it's weird. I went from like having like too many game options. So then I feel like I really went quickly through a bunch of them because a bunch of them were single player games. I went through them all. Now it's like I feel like there's a million games and none of them I feel like playing.
Yeah. You're back to that like not feeling like you have any game options. It's like you always know that there's a million games, but yeah, check out Slay the Spire 2. I mean, you never know, right? Like just because a game is good doesn't mean it'll hit with everybody, right? But it's like Slay the Spire has been a 10,000 hour game for a lot of people, it seems. So,
yeah, and I didn't know when I watched the trailer, like for it's a 2-minute trailer, and honestly, the first minute of it is like cutscene.
Oh, okay.
And so this art style kind of reminded me of Darkest, and I clicked away before the gameplay started.
Yeah.
So I didn't see that it was like card based.
Yeah.
Like a deck builder. So.
Yep. Hells yeah.
No, we'll see.
We'll freaking look at that. Well, I've been going crazy mode, grinding out a ton of marathon. Before we hop into that, though, I want to take a quick second and thank the sponsor for this episode, and that is The Perfect Gene. You know what's super exciting? I literally 3 days ago got my delivery of another pair.
Oh my God, I'm jealous.
They didn't even send it to me for free, by the way. I bought it with my own money, using our code, of course. But these are, it's a high standard to name yourself the perfect gene, but they really are phenomenal. The perfect amount of stretch in the jean, but they still feel like a pair of jeans. They have customization is out of control. They have every color jean, like from like whitewashed or actually white all the way through dark fancy jeans, all the way up through like black jeans. They got ripped jeans, they got skinny jeans, they got bootcut jeans, they got slim fit jeans. They got everything. They feel incredibly comfortable. They're incredibly durable. Like, I mean, it's been like over a year, and that's pretty much all I wear. And I mean, they're just amazing.
Bro, I spent all week basically working with people trying to design my closet for the new house. And one of the things that I was getting excited about was like this one particular pull-out sort of pants thing. And I was just thinking, like, I got 2 pairs of perfect jeans. I've got the khakis. I've got some nice slacks. But honestly, at this point, now that I'm getting old and fat, the literally the best selling point for the entire jeans is the fact that you have jeans that are like these aren't going anywhere, right?
Yep. No belt. Boom. Oh yeah.
Look at that, dude. Look at how many Thanksgiving turkeys your boy can eat without needing to unbuckle his pants.
Yeah, brother.
It's just the quality, comfort, fashion, style.
It's got it all.
Swag.
It's got it all.
Durability.
Yeah. It's
they're
a nice pair of jeans. Like, you can just feel it. They're a nice pair of jeans. And what I love about them is it's the decoupling of length and width. So many times I've gone to go buy a pair of jeans, and it's like they only have my waist size in a length that's 2 inches longer than I want. You know what I mean? And then you have to like roll it at the bottom. So it's like you can pick any width, any length, any size, any cut. It's amazing. Over 400,000 like 5-star people have tried, over 30,000 5-star reviews. They're incredible. We absolutely love it. And then the Den khakis, they have a whole line of like denim like khakis that are like very similar denim. So they like, I mean, you can wear that thing to a wedding. You know what I mean? They're awesome. So for a limited time, our listeners can get 15% off their first order plus free shipping at theperfectgene.nyc or Google The Perfect Gene and use code, I believe it is Pogcast15, Pogcast15 for 15% off. That's 15% off at theperfectgene.nyc for new customers using promo code Pogcast15. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Get rid of your khakis and get into The Perfect Gene.
Yeah.
Bing, boom, bow. So yeah, dude, I've been going crazy mode on Marathon, man, having a blast.
Yeah, how's that been? So I think last time we talked, you had just the play test or the server slam.
Yeah, just the server slam. Yep.
And then now that it's all I've been seeing on Twitter is people just
arguing.
It's the internet bitching and moaning about bitching and moaning.
Yeah.
Which is the worst kind. Every post is like, I'm so sick of, which is like, what I'll say is, that's what I do best. Trust me. Bitch and moan about bitch and moan. This is me bitching and moaning about bitching and moaning about bitching and moaning.
Yeah.
Which it's like multiplying by -1. It flip-flops it.
Yeah.
Bitching and moaning is good. Bitching and moaning about bitching and moaning is bad. Bitching and moaning about that is good again.
Yeah.
And if you complain about me, bad.
That's bad because every time. See, and that's why if you're the one first, you're always on the good side.
Yeah, I think that's
how that
history
works. Yeah,
I think that's how that.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyways,
well, tell me about it.
Yes, for sure. But dude, I have been really enjoying it. Man, there really is like I didn't see myself as somebody that thought this way, but like I really do enjoy like first person games. Like I don't know what to say. Like Arc Raiders is like in my top 5 favorite games of all time. Like they're like that game had a magic to, especially at the beginning, that like very few games have ever had for me like on release. Never ever did I ever care that it was third person. Like I don't know, I just like it was never really like a super big deal to me, but I don't know. It just feels nice to be back into like a first-person shooter game. I guess that's just what I grew up on with Call of Duty and Battlefield and whatever. Like I guess like I did play a lot of Destiny. back when Destiny 1 came out, which was also first person. And so, yeah, it just like feels.
I will say that's the one thing that's annoyed me about Risk of Rain 2 is that it's third person. Suddenly I was like,
Interesting. So yeah, man, it's been super fun. Like we talked about this last week about how like it's a more Tarkov experience where like it's in, and I know that carries a lot of baggage with it. I don't mean the game is like Tarkov, you know what I mean? I'm saying it's a Tarkov experience in that it's a game that's
not fun.
Yeah, it's a game that's supposed to like not be understood completely in an hour of gameplay. You know what I mean? Like I'm still largely just like throwing on whatever cores and implants I find just because like I can't be bothered to like read through them all yet because I'm focused on getting better with the runners and like figuring out the weapon mod system. And you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, like it just, you have to, but I like that because I like a game that similar when you were 10 hours into Tarkov, most people were just putting whatever ammo fit in their AK in their AK.
Yeah, and it didn't matter.
It just didn't matter. You knew that it mattered, but you were like, Jesus Christ, I don't know where the exfil is on this map. You know what I mean? And it was like, and so it's like that. So, my thing with the server slam was every day I played it, I enjoyed it more. And I've hopped into the main game and I have enjoyed it more. I will say it was a little like lurky turkey, just playing for 4 days and then 72 hours later, just doing all that progression again. You know what I mean? You just have to do this. You have to go back. Okay. Do the same quest and whatever. But like yesterday, they released the third map, and it's so good. It's so fun. And
have you played on that map before?
I had like once or twice. But that was the first time the public had seen it. And this map has like a lot of the more like Destiny-esque like puzzle mechanics built into it. So like we were figuring this out.
Did you say Destiny?
Yeah. So like like a Destiny raid was like very puzzle heavy. In addition to being, you know, a PvE raid basically. And so it's got a lot of those mechanics. So it's like the map is a smaller map that has a little bit more verticality. It's the UESC, so it's like the robot. It's like one of their like headquarters, military bases. And it's got this giant ass building in the middle that's called the Pinwheel with 3 giant spokes that go out of it. And then like you spawn on the floor. And so you were like figuring out that like there's 3 different rarities of keys that you can find on the map. And some of them are found in specific places. Some of them are founded off bosses and all of that kind of stuff. And then there are doors all over that take some combination of the 3 keys. It might take 2 smalls and 1 medium. It might take one of all 3. It might take 2 larges and 1 small. And so like, you're just like running around finding these keys, and then you can unlock some rooms. Some of them have really good loot, but you can also use them to unlock access to that giant pinwheel. And when that happens, it like announces to everybody on the map that somebody has started that. And then it like opens up all the doors, and then you go up to basically like almost like labs. It's like a really like clean white like facility where they're like doing all sorts of experiments or whatever. And then you're playing through those 3 big spokes. There's super hard AI up there. There's super good loot up there. And the fights up there are just like close quarters, really intense battles. And so everybody's just like figuring out how it works and where to go and the most efficient way to get in and how the puzzles work. And like, it was just a ton of fun to be playing and figuring that out. The PvP on that map is really fun. And so that was like the big thing. Was just playing around with that. So the third map is really good. And then the 4th map comes out like sometime later this month or something like that, which I will say 3 maps is a little light at launch for an extraction shooter. But the 4th map is coming in like a month or something. But yeah, man, dude, I've just been having fun. The PvP feels good. The time to kill, it's so funny. I'm very much so convinced that this isn't even an extraction shooter thing anymore. Any game with guns, the internet will erupt about the time to kill. You know what I mean? Too slow, too fast, whatever. I personally think that the time to kill in this game is in a really good spot. I think part of it, and I can't remember if I said this last week, but I think part of it is that it looks like Apex, when you like if you've never heard a marathon and you popped in, like you were just like, is this like an Apex extraction shooter?
Yeah.
But the time to kill is not that at all. And so I think the visual expectation from people was just that it would be like this really long time to kill extraction shooter. And so that makes a short time to kill feel shorter when you expected it to be long. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I think that's happening. But I personally think it's in a really good spot because I think for an extraction shooter, I understand that an extraction shooter made around like a shield system, shield plus health, and made around squads needs to be longer than like a Tarkov where you can just, everybody can get one tapped with the like weakest gun in the game. But I do think it needs to err on that shorter side because you want to feel like today I clutched a 1v3 and then later today, Redstone, my teammate, we were both dead and he clutched a 1v3. And it's like you want that to be able to happen. It can't happen all the time, right? Like, you definitely have a numbers advantage, but you need that to be able to happen. And so
and is that a lot rarer than in Arc?
Well, here's the thing. In Arc, you're never really 1v3ing because in Arc, it's like, well, okay, never mind. I guess that makes sense because if your teammates are down, you're clutching up a 1v3. Yeah, sorry, I thought you were asking about Qs. Yes, it is. It's possible in Arc as well. The Arc time to kill is definitely longer than marathons, but I guess it depends on what weapon you can do. But I would say it's more common that you could 1v3 in marathon than Arc. But I do think that's where things like third person come into play. It's harder to 1v3 because of the amount of information the enemy team can have with three of them. They can be in three different positions, third person peeking you. Whereas in a first person game, if you're in a 1v3, you can find a hidey hole and know they don't know where you are and wait for like a moment to strike. You know what I mean? And you can't do that nearly as much in a third person game. So weirdly, I actually think that plays into the ability to clutch up. You know what I mean? But it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see how PvP happens in this game. So there's self-reses, which I was like really iffy about. It's a rarer item, but you can get a self-res. And then one of the heroes, his ultimate ability is he can basically shoot something out of his wrist and res a teammate from like 30 or 40 meters away. And
you have to aim it.
You do have to aim it, but
can you miss?
Yes, you can miss. But if you hit, it's an insta res too. Whereas like normally you would have to come and there's like an animation. It's like and then they res. You just go and it goes whoop and you're back up. You don't have full health or shields or anything, but you're back up.
And did you say it was a one-time thing, or is there like a long cooldown?
It's a long cooldown. It's your ultimate ability, so it's maybe like a 3 to 4 minute cooldown. But because of that, you play so differently. So like in Arc Raiders, which I've been spamming for 5 months, I'm used to like the numbers advantage is everything. Like if you get a pick, just like ape them, run at them because they can't do anything, especially if you have 2 down. Like they don't have time to like res 2 of their teammates. But
I can't help but hear.
Three
guys surrounding you.
Pretty much. But in this game, you can get a pick or maybe even 2, and you're moving up, and one of them self-resed, and one of them got insta-resed by the other guy, and you didn't get to close the gap, and now suddenly you're in the worst position. You're in the low ground or whatever, and they throw util, and you're just like dead, and you're like, oh shit. So you have to, playing for like thirsts or finishes is like really important, because you know what's weird about this game too? Most games have like a timer where like, let's say you go down, then you're in down but not out, and then you get finished. I feel like most games have a certain, like you only have like a couple minutes to res your teammate. You're bleeding out. Or a lot of games like Battle Royales do the whole, like you have to take something off them and then take him to a reboot van and then call them in or whatever. In this game, it's weirdly the opposite. When you go down but not out, but then you get shot and you're full thirsty, you're full dead, there is no time limit on when your teammate can come back and res you. Like we crew filled, me and Redstone, and our third was a random, and we both died, and he legitimately played the waiting game for like 10 minutes, which is an eternity. And then he just came back and resed us. And it was like crazy. But when you thirst someone, there's like a 15 to 20 second countdown where they're unresable. So it's actually the opposite. It's not that you only have a certain amount of time to res them. It's that when you thirst someone, you actually can't res them for like 20 seconds. So you can play that into the strategy of like you need to get a pick and then also thirst them because it buys you a couple of seconds to like move in before they can res. And then they obviously can't self-res. So it's just like figuring out all like the metas of how to PvP in a game like this versus Tarkov versus Arc Raiders has been fun for me to do that. But it's it's been really interesting. And then obviously using the like heroes and the abilities I'm so terrible at because I'm just even playing Arc Raiders, right? There's no like hit your ults. Like your ult is up. Oh my God. Oh, like the amount of times like my teammates are dead and they're spectating me and they're like, hit your Q. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'm just not used to that. But it's fun because some of the fights, like some of the dynamics of the fights have been really fun. I saw a clip of Desmond. He touches the game for 2 hours and then he hits a clip, right? Like there's one of the heroes, Vandal, has her tactical ability is she basically turns her hand into a cannon and shoots like a pulse that blows you away. It doesn't necessarily do a bunch of damage, but like if you're behind cover, he can hit you and it'll push you out. It's just like a pulse. Desmond saw someone who was behind him, hit the pulse. It pulls them off the ledge of a cliff, and Desmond just goes.
Oh, did he like one shot them?
Yep. Boom. One shot.
I saw
midair.
That. First thing I thought was, has this game been out long enough for there to be aim? No. Like aim hacks?
No. Yeah. I mean, that's just Desmond. So like stuff like that with the util, there's tons of like movement abilities. Like one of the has a grapple hook, one of them has a double jump. So the flanks, and there's just like a lot of dynamic range to how a PvP fight can go. And it's not too bullet spongy with the players that it feels like you just can't do anything. You can't ever win a fight. Like, I don't know. There feels like there's like a lot of potato fights too, where like both of you shot your whole mag and like you're trying to figure out what to do. Do you swap to the other gun? Do you throw the nade? And it's like, I love those. Like I get into those fights all the time in Tarkov where it's like, we're both reloading and we're VoIPing at each other and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. It's just, there's been a lot of that. It's just been fun. I don't know.
When it comes to the abilities and ults, and stuff like you were saying, are you like me in that this is part of the reason why I struggle to get into games like this, in that I don't want to have to worry about those things.
Yeah.
Like I want like movement, positioning, aim to be like the things. So like if I play those games, like I could learn how to use them, I could get better with them, but I like just don't care to practice.
Yeah.
Like I'll play the game suboptimally so that I just don't have to.
Yeah.
Is it like that, or like are you actually like interested in them? You just totally forget.
I am very interested in them. I just forget. Yeah. Because when I watch people do it well, it just seems so fun. Like, because basically what we're talking about here is game sense and understanding the game sense between games, right? Like Tarkov's is a very different, what you have to worry about the order of operations in your brain versus a game like this. And I love like learning new games like that and like reordering the order of operations so that I can be effective. It's just hard because I'm like 100 years old in my brain, I guess, and I'm just really bad at it, but it's fun to do. And so
Did you see the same? Did you feel the same when you watch like people building Walmarts playing Fortnite?
At first, yes.
Yeah.
At first, before it got cringe, like, you know what I mean? I remember a few times I was like practicing when I would play solo, and I remember a few times with my friend group at the time where like,
oh, you played Fortnite?
Mm-hmm, a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Mostly console.
I was going to say it was on console, right?
Mostly console when it first came out. And then when I built the PC for Tarkov, like I played a little bit, but not much. But like I remember the first couple times, like I cranked a 9 and like built something, just a ramp, and then used the height to kill someone. And my friends were like, that was so sick. You know what I mean? Like it felt good to like learn how to play. I mean, I was never good at Fortnite ever. But so yeah, so that's been fun. And then it's just crazy because on top of that, there's like insane, like the amount of like customization you have in Tarkov around like your guns and how you build it is baked into just like your runner in Marathon. Cause like there's basically, you have 5 modular slots on your person where you can slot in something that changes something. You have 2 cores, 3 implants. You don't need to know the difference. Just know that there are 5 slots that you can put something in that augment something. It can make you have more stamina. It can make you take less fall damage. It can make you revive your teammates faster or whatever. And then some of those are going to be core runner specific. So like only this runner, this hero, can wear these cores and get these abilities. And
gotcha. Is there a limit to course, like generic versus?
So you have 2 core slots and 3 implant slots, and whatever ones you find, you can just put in there. So you have the 5, and then 2 cores, 3 implants, and it's like, it's just it allows for some insane stuff to happen. Like I already saw a clip of this Destiny Halo creator that's been playing Drewski, like one of the, so that hand cannon I was telling you about, Desmond, that where he shot at the guy. There's a core that, because if you have that and you shoot it down at your own feet, it doesn't do anything to you. But there's a core that you can put on where it does propel you. And so like I literally saw a clip of him like double jumping and then just shooting it straight down, and he launches himself over a wall where you could like never scale any other way, and just lands behind a team of 3 and kills all of them. And just
Did he have any way to know they were there?
Yeah, they were fighting him. Like they were shooting up, and he's just like, yep, blast off, and just goes up. And so there's all sorts of like build crafting around like, how do you want, what is the strength and weakness of this runner? And then how do you want to play them? Do you want to play the medic character as like a DPS frontline medic? Or do you want to play him as like support?
Support, yeah.
Do you want to play, assassin as like defensive or aggressive? Do you like, and
there's gonna be like team comp metas.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm never gonna. There's also gonna be a ranked mode, and we have no idea. We don't really know how that works. There was like leaks about how the ranked mode worked, but they weren't official, so I'm not sure how true they are. That's gonna be really interesting because I don't really know how you do like a competitive extraction shooter.
Aggression-based matchmaking,
please God,
extraction
no.
shooter tournament mode.
Please God, no.
Battle
Please
Royale.
God, no. Please God, no. Yeah. And then
did you see? Oh no, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and then there's also a really deep level of customization around the weapons as well, and all of the different attachments on the weapons. And like you can do some crazy stuff there too. There's like, and you can tell with like the gun modification system that like their roots are in like the PvE experience. Like a lot of like Destiny and stuff like that come through, and in a cool way. Like there's a mod you can put on your gun where if you eliminate an enemy, it automatically refills a portion of your magazine. And so there are times where like there's 14 enemies, like AI enemies on your screen. I had an SMG and I shot like 150 bullets holding mouse 1 without reloading.
Bro, you were my archer.
Yes, in Mewgenics, yes, dude. But you have to be the one that gets the kill to get the refill and stuff like that. And there's all sorts of like crazy. You can get money for killing stuff. You can have getting a kill, increases your stamina, or getting a precision kill increases like the rate of fire of your gun. There's just a ton of stuff, and a lot of the mods are like super modular and that they can go on any gun. So once again, you can build like a sniper rifle for like rate of fire, or you can build like an SMG for rate of fire. You can build a gun more for
shotgun sniper
PvE or more for PvP. Like and I'm just kind of getting into all this stuff because once again, at first it was all overwhelming and I was just like taking whatever I could loot. You know what I mean? But now I'm starting to like look at the stuff and be like, do I want this? Does this fit on my gun? Do I like this kind of thing? And yeah, it's fun. And it definitely has more of a progression curve to it with each faction, like there's 6 factions in the game, and each faction probably has like 20 to 30 unlockable, I guess, like faction tree progression nodes where you have to pay money and then give like a resource. And so there's 6 factions.
Okay.
Each of them have like 20 to 30 of those. And especially once you get through some of the first ones, they all require, I mean, think of like the hideout, right? 7 bolts, 8 this, 40 of that, 16 of this. And so there's that loop of like, that's what you're doing. You're going in because you're trying to get this material because you want to get this upgrade, and because this upgrade is going to allow you to buy this thing from the market, and buying that thing is going to allow you to save money because you don't have to hold them in your stash because now you can buy this blue bag or whatever. And so there's a lot of that, which I personally like, because I need that. That's kind of been my thing with Ark, is that like I love Ark, but I'm not going in the raid to do anything other than just kill people. That's it. So I like the fact that it's like, I could take a day and not really care, and then we could just go PvP. But I like that there's a lot of progression. There's a lot of stuff to grind for, because whether I complete that task or find that item doesn't really matter. It just gives me something to do. You know what I mean? I guess. So yeah, I don't know. It's been fun. It's been fun.
You're talking about PvE. Did you see the ninja clip?
Yes, dude. Yes, I did.
I saw the clip tweeted by 2 people, and I saw the like 2 comments. Not like the 2 people who tweeted it had their comments basically about it. What was your take when you watched the clip, having been someone who played?
I mean, my take is just that, like, I've said that about games I have no idea. I've watched 0 seconds of Ninja playing the game. Like, I don't know it. Well, all I'm saying is that, like, I've said more heinous shit about Tarkov and then played 8,000 more hours of the game for me to like care what somebody says when they die. I say horrendous shit when I die in these games. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I just didn't think too much of it. And because I saw it early, and then it was like starting to go viral, and I was like, oh, I don't know. He just molded that he died to AI, right?
Based as fuck response. Because like when I saw the people tweet, the 2 responses were effectively like, just get good.
Yeah.
And
go play whatever, go back to Fortnite or whatever. Like,
yeah. And I mean, even without that sentiment, the whole, I don't know, like because he didn't. Now, it'd be one thing if he tweeted that clip.
Correct.
And wrote, fuck this game, I'm so frustrated with. Then you're inviting in a different way than if you stream it. Now, granted, you are inviting any and all criticism when you stream, but at the same time, it's like I guarantee you all the people who were like, he's fucking bad and he shouldn't get mad or whatever, they all molded twice today with the same thing. Dying to some bullshit, and where it was like, this is like a extraction shooter, Andy not knowing how to play, and it's like, oh my god, everyone. Now I also I might be missing some context, but it looked like he just killed a guy and then started to loot the guy right afterward.
Yeah,
which is literally what every single fucking extraction person does all the time. That you kill the guy, you instantly start looting him, because like, here's the thing. You could like walk around and clear the area and then go loot him. But when you walk around and clear the area and then you go loot him is the moment someone walks into the area.
Yes.
So you might as well just do it now and fucking move on.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like being too critical of a gamer for being like, fuck this game, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah.
Is like, it's the most, I'm just glad that you were like, we've all fucking done it.
Dude, yes. And that's the thing, is that like, I understand the sentiment both ways. Like my thing is, I've been there, I've yelled, I've gotten really frustrated, I've let myself get too frustrated playing a game. So have you, dear listener. But what I'm saying is, I also understand if you just showed up to the stream and you saw that live, I would also understand if you in your head was like, grow up, dude. Chill. It's just a game. Like, that I also understand. Like, as a streamer, I'm hyper aware of that. When I'm getting really mad at the game, I'm like, this is dumb, and somebody's going to be like, whatever. My take on it is like, anything out of that circle is weird. If you popped into the stream at that moment and you were like, Ninja being cringe, I don't think that's weird. You popped in at a weird moment and you popped into the cringe moment.
To think it, and then to not go
but
retweeting
to take it out. That's what, exactly, to like, that's what I find is you're carrying that moment with you. You're holding. You popped into the stream. A streamer was being cringe. That's the least like novel thing, right? Like 90% of all streamers right now click on any of their streams, they're being cringe. That's not a novel thing. And so if your reaction was that's cringe, that's not a weird reaction. And then I also, like I said, I can also see where Ninja's coming from because I've also mauled at a game. What the weird thing is just that the carrying it to Twitter. Like, they carry that moment, they hold it like a baby, and then they launch it out onto Twitter, or they make YouTube videos about it. And that's where I'm just like, what are we talking about? Like, there's like real, like, you could go do something fun and valuable with your life, and you're like mad at a streamer that you clearly don't like, but you were watching them and they're playing the game the wrong way. I'm just so confused at how many layers of like brain rot and degeneracy we are at. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I'll take it one step further, and I want to limit. You just said what, like 2 use cases basically for like where it was like 2 reasonable responses. I want to remove one of those from the list, because if you just show up and you see someone upset with a game with no other context, your response should be, he must be upset, like, for reasons that I don't have enough context to judge.
Yeah.
So either you don't really have enough context to judge him all that much, and if you're judging him, you're just probably, you just don't like Ninja, or you're being cringy bandwagony yourself, or you watch Ninja enough to have been there for long enough to know that he's been complaining about so many things, and that right there is cringe enough. If you watch Ninja enough, that it's a regular thing, then you're cringe. Okay, so it's like, to me, it's like, I don't know. The world needs to watch fucking streamers. Now, maybe Ninja is one of the ones that is like, oh, well, as soon as you make $1 million streaming, then you suddenly open yourself up to any and all hate being completely and utterly warranted and justified.
Maybe,
and
I don't know.
Maybe. Of course. But I don't know. I just feel like the default reaction for most people most of the time should be like, wow, someone's mauling at a game. I understand.
Yeah,
I might not mauled like this at this game. I might not have mauled it in that situation. But I guarantee the games you play and that you mauled at are all games that other people would be like, you're a bitch for fucking crying. Why don't you go play another? And you'd be like, and if that were you, you'd be like, oh, come on, man.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, every time exactly. Yeah, I'm with you. It's just so weird. It just feels like, I mean, like, I don't know. I've made my thoughts very clear over the past couple months. I think Twitter is just like cancer, bro. I just feel like every time I like go on there and you see something like that, to me, it's just like opening a room full of babies crying. Like, you know, you go to that room at the hospital where they have all the, well, okay, you haven't been there if you don't have a baby, but where they have all the, and it's just like, they're all crying. And like, that's just what it feels like, because when you boil it down, it's like, it's all 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's all 7 degrees of complaining. It's like somebody's complaining that somebody was complaining, or somebody's complaining that somebody was complaining the wrong way, or somebody's complaining that there are people complaining about people are complaining. And I'm here, like, even this conversation, like, and so it just doesn't, like, and once again, I'm not even saying like everyone does it but us. Once I literally complain, I bitch all the time. That's what I'm saying. And that's why, to circle back around to the empathy for Ninja, I literally probably said some stupid shit while playing Marathon today, where I died to, you know what I know I did, because the shotgun is broken, and every time I die to the shotgun, I look into the camera and I'm like, fuck this game. And then I keep playing, you know what I mean? So it's like, we're all doing the same thing. And I think if we realized we were all doing the same thing, the complainers, the people complaining about the complaining, the people complaining about the people who are complaining about the complaining, if we can all just look at each other and be like, we're all complaining. let's move on. Like we're all complaining about something. Let's just move on. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I agree with you half, and then half I can't deny that they're not all created equal. They might look equal.
Certainly,
but
for sure.
But yeah. I mean, really, what it comes down to is like, it's like, what's the? I mean, I guess, and maybe this, I don't know. Maybe it does apply universally. Maybe it isn't. But it's like there's something about someone showing up, like someone changing the channel to watch a TV show and bitching about the show.
Yeah.
Than it is, somebody who's like, change the fucking channel then. I hate when people do this. Like, they're not there's something to me that has to say, like, well, there's something that isn't this different about that.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. But I guess what I was trying to say is like, I don't know. I agree with what you're saying for sure. It's like, for someone to take it too far, basically, I guess it's like, you know, and tell me what you think about this. It's like, if we measure complaining, like, you know, like they throw the shot put. So there's a definitive start line, which is like, nobody's complaining about anything. Right. And this is a bad analogy because the shorter the distance, the better. Because like, I'm not complaining that much. I'm just complaining about the thing. My thing is like, you have to complain that much to complain more. And so that the thread that binds us is that we're all complaining. You went way too far. And I think we're way different. But like, you had to like pass me on the way. You had to like have something in your mind that was bothering you and then make the decision to take it too far. And so that's kind of where I was coming from. I was like, at the center of it, we're all just being whiny babies. You went way too far, but I'll forgive you if we just all shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do see what you're saying, where it's like, I don't think somebody sitting down and watching a show and then complaining about it the entire time is the same as somebody going, can we just change the fucking channel? Like, I see where you're coming from there. And I think that, one person.
Yeah, and I think the important distinction that I just worked out in my head and haven't thought about, so maybe it'll be brain dead the moment it comes out of my mouth. But like, the important distinction is like, why are you complaining? Is it because you are like I used to complain about Tarkov.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was malding, and in that case, I mean, I was going to say in that case, I just think it was like semi-reasonable, semi-unreasonable, you know, like, but yeah, okay. So let me start over again. Why are you complaining? If you're complaining to shame someone on social media, that's different than complaining because you are upset about a thing that you are directly experiencing.
Yeah, that you are experiencing. Yeah, not like a secondhand experience.
But I experienced Ninja complaining, so that hurt me.
Yeah, I'm with So yeah, we went through the whole thing. You said that I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And then we both were like, yeah, but this is what someone's gonna say. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. At the end of the day, I've been having fun playing the game, and it's like not surprising at all that I don't know. Some people don't like the game, and like. I don't know. We went through this with Tarkov all the time, right? Like there was this whole like elitism with Tarkov where like anytime anyone tried it and was like, bro, you just die too fast in this game. It was just like, well, that's what it was supposed to be. Shut the fuck up if you can go play your other game if you don't want to play. Go back to Fortnite or go back to COD was like one of the most common insults when somebody new was trying Tarkov. So it's like, it's just weird. But I mean, I don't know. Like I've been streaming too much to be consuming the Twitter, like I don't know if
you're better off.
Yeah, I don't know if the general vibe on Twitter is that Marathon is great or it's bad or if it's 50-50. Well, the reality is, I guess it depends on your algorithm, right? But like, I've just been streaming too much and having good vibes. Lots of people are saying the same thing. Like lots of people having the same vibes. We're like, damn, dude, bought it, was thinking about refunding it. But the more I played, the more I'm like, it's starting to click and I'm really starting to like it. You know what I mean? And so a lot of that sentiment, a lot of people just saying, hey, not really a game for me. But yeah, mostly good vibes. Mostly good vibes. There's just a lot to chew on, and that's all I'm caring about right now. But I'm still saying, like, I still to this day, which obviously I think is like I harp on this a lot too. But like I'm still saying, like, I don't know if this is a 100-hour game or a 1,000-hour game. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. The expectation from gamers are so interesting. My hot take is that nobody that has 10,000 hours into a game knew they were going to put 10,000 hours into that game, 10 hours into that game. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. There are some games that are like, this game is going to be crack pretty early.
Like what?
I
just I mean, I fell in love with Tarkov, but like,
Tarkov is a slow burn, though.
Yeah, Tarkov is a slow burn.
You said 10 hours. You get 6 raids in 10 hours in Tarkov. True. How? So
the games 10 I hours have the
of
most...
Balatro. You were fucking. You knew Balatro was. I mean, now granted.
True. Well, I guess there are games. I guess you're right that there are games that obviously have that more than others. But my point is that like. What happens, like, it takes anybody years to put 10,000 hours into a game.
Yeah.
What happens during those years determined, like, basically what I'm saying is you can only ever know your next couple hundred or maybe 1,000 hours. Because what happens, like, if it's going to take you a year to put 1,000 hours into a game and every update that comes out during that year makes the game worse, you might quit, and you might remember that time when the game first came out where you're like, God, dude, the game had so much potential. It was so good. Why did they run it into the ground? So to be asked on day one, if this is a game I can put 10,000 hours into, it makes me, I'm like, I don't know. Like, that would require the follow through with content. And I guess the point, I think what you were just said is like, live service games are kind of like definitively different because they live and die by the content being delivered via the live service. You know what I mean? So
yeah, like I'll play 10,000 hours of Factorio. I know that. And I have 600 or 700 hours.
So that's that's a good point. But if you play, like the games that just like a game like this that requires like nobody could put 10,000 hours into just Factory. I mean, I guess a maniac would. Just somebody's going to put 10,000 hours into any game. But
yeah,
what happens during those 10,000 hours determine that. That's the point. So it's I see myself like well,
anybody expecting you to know if it's a 10,000 hour game by now is fucking delusional.
Yeah. All I know is like I absolutely have already and am going to get my money's worth. I bought the deluxe edition, $100 or whatever it is. I'm going to get that value out of this game 100% and more. Like I'm going to play this game for the first couple of seasons and go from there. You know what I mean? Like I am having a blast. That's all. That's as far ahead as I look. You know what I mean? We had one and this was like, I actually genuinely wanted to talk. I can't remember if we talked about this last week. Stop me if we did, but I was not mad at the guy at all. Even chat didn't berate him. We were just having a conversation. He was like, he was like, I'm really enjoying the server slam. I want to buy the game. I'm just worried that if I buy the game, it'll be dead in 6 months. And I was like, 6 months? I was like, you know you love the game and you want to buy it. And you think if 6 months from now, there are less players playing, your $40 wasn't worth it? Like, I don't know. I guess but that's why I wasn't mad at him. I was just like asking. I was like,
so there's one thing worth considering, and it's easy to forget. In 6 months, you're going to play a lot. In 6 months, he might have played 4 weekends.
I don't think so. I don't think if the server slam has been out for 18 hours and he's like, I'm loving this game, I want to buy it. I think you're probably gaming enough that you know, you know what I mean? Like
17. Maybe he's retired, or maybe, I don't know. All I'm saying is
that's why I didn't get mad at him.
All I'm saying is that 6 months it's a meaningless number because we're talking about game time.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I asked him. That's why I was like probing, because I was like, how much do you think, like, that's kind of where I was trying to get at. I was like, I'm interested to hear like what is a value kind of like time frame you're looking at? I don't know that he ever answered, or maybe I was like, then I got into a PvP fight and forgot that I asked him a question. That happens all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was just, I find that interesting. And like,
well, also
Yeah.
now one other thing is, I mean, like this is not necessarily something that is justified. I don't know if it's justified. I'm taking myself out of the conversation for determining or giving my judgment as to whether it's justified. But High Guard lasted 5 days.
Yes.
So now there's all the debate online about whether or not is it going to be the next High Guard? Is it going to be servers are going to close and blah blah blah? I think like one of the tweets I saw was Shroud saying basically like they're never like Bungie isn't going to shut this down even if there's 5 people playing. So that was Shroud's opinion. I have no idea. I don't care. But that means that there are other people who have the opinion of this game ain't going to last
for sure
2 months.
For
so
sure.
I guess maybe the question is, what would happen if you spent $40 and the game was dead, literally shut down?
Yeah.
Now we're getting into stop playing games, or stop killing games territory.
Yeah, for sure,
like,
for sure. No, High Guard was super sad. I didn't necessarily care for it. It wasn't an experience that was made for me as a gamer, but that was like a horrendously sad. Well, I mean, we can talk about that. I find that so fascinating. This like, let's like put $200 million into a game and then close it down like 18 days later or whatever. I was like, dude, oh my God, give it a year and try to get some people involved or something. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I get that. I think the difference with High Guard was that it was a free-to-play game, so they didn't do High Guard was free, so they were just like launching it. And this was all during the Marathon Server Slam, where it was like, if you were asking me, should I buy the game, you were able to play it. And I know that not everybody has 40 hours to play over the weekend, but I was just saying like, I don't know. I just like, I guess this is just a me thing. I don't know how to answer the question, should I buy this game? I know how to answer the question, what do you think of the game? Should I buy the game? It's just like, how often do you have $40 to spend? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, exactly. If you buy one game a year, I don't like being asked, should this be the game? Because it's like, you know, I was talking.
Dude, it's such a cringe question.
I was talking.
Hey, Jesse, should I invest my money in the stock market right now? Why are you asking me?
Exactly.
Are you an adult?
It was like me. I was talking to my wife about the nature of it. It's like, I can understand why people want to ask my opinion because I've been playing a lot, but because I play so much, that colors my opinion. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
I don't play. You might play games way less than me because you like, you know, you're a nurse and you work 12-hour shifts or whatever. And so it's like, you know, I'm already into the mid game. And so it's like hard for me because I'm like, I don't know how often you have $40 to buy games. I don't know how often you play. I'm not even saying these are like nefarious questions. Most people that ask me, should I buy this game, probably mean, what do you think about this game? But it's just like, it's like,
no, they literally have the Steam page open and they're waiting to confirm. No, I'm not even lying.
They're like,
they very well
credit
have
card
the
up
Steam
with
page
the
open.
CCV code or whatever.
I'm not like exaggerating.
Yeah.
Like I opened up the Steam page to fucking Slay the Spire 2 at the beginning of the conversation, and since then I've purchased the game.
Yeah.
But I'm not here coming to you to say, Jesse, should I buy it?
Yeah. But exactly. And that's the thing is it's like, yeah, I don't know.
That's just to
and
me
that's
is
why
like the cringe parasocial shit where it's like, you want me to tell you how to spend your $40? I don't know how much is in your checking account. I don't know how much free time you like.
Hey,
I can't answer that for you.
If you're asking me how to spend $50, drop 10 gifted subs on the channel. That's what we're talking about. Bro. Drop 10 gifted subs. Forget marathon. You know what I mean? Anyways, and that's why, like, I try to ask questions when the guy was like, I don't know, this game might be dead in 6 months. I wasn't like, fuck you, bro. I was just like, okay, well, what kind of value are you looking for? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be a dick to people. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Just watch some gameplay. Isn't there like a 2-hour,
you know how many games I've bought, paid, and then instantly refunded?
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't there a 2-hour window? Like, you can watch some streams or some YouTube videos. You can watch the gameplay if it looks compelling. You buy the game, you can play for a little bit. If you don't like it, you can return it. I'm happy to, once again, like, if you're like, what do you think? I answer that question all the time, and I have no problem. It's like it's like the when's wipe. Like, that never bothered me, bro. It was like, it's just like information people want to know. people in chat would always get so mad before I would get mad. You know, I would answer when swipe 1,000 times a day. I never cared because it's just like, I get it. So when people are like, what do you think about Marathon? I've answered that question 1,000 times. I don't get mad at it.
Well, that's a different question. Then should I buy it?
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. I don't get mad at that at all. So it's like, ask the question, watch the gameplay. But yeah, exactly. As soon as we start like talking about should you buy, any statement I make is then going to be met with like if you're, because this is what happened. If somebody goes, should I buy the game? And I go, yes, they're going to have a follow-up question with information I don't have. Well, I only get to play a couple of hours a week, but how could I have known that? Right. So it's like, it's just, I don't know, just like, check it out. If you like the game, buy the game. If you don't like the game, don't buy the game.
Stick around, keep watching. And you should, like most people should be able to know pretty quickly if, they watch, half hour, an hour of gameplay and read some reviews.
For sure. I'm just,
but
ultimately what I am saying is like, it's so funny. What I am saying is like, don't trust me. Don't trust my opinion. All I do is play video games, like 60 hours a week, 7 years long.
No, don't sell yourself short.
Like
what you should say is, trust my fucking opinion, just know how to consume it. Because Jesse, your opinion is worth more than the random fucking guy when it comes to you play more games, you play more of these individual games.
Yeah.
People, like, I think as a content creator, people care about your opinion. And you need, as cringe as it feels, you need to like acknowledge, you know what? People care about my opinion. Which is why when you tweet something, if someone says, no one fucking asked you, no bitch, they did. See the follower count? They fucking did ask me. That's what I do. I'm here to give my opinions about things. Either leave, don't subscribe to me, block me. That's the whole point of this fucking thing we call social media. If you don't fucking care about my opinion, fuck off elsewhere.
Preach.
I'm not going to ask someone's opinion if I don't fucking care about their opinion.
That's
and if
true.
someone shares their opinion and I don't care about it, I'm just going to fuck off elsewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So all I'm saying is, Jesse, if someone says,
should you buy Marathon, is the next section of the podcast. And the answer is definitively. So, I will say though, I mean, we can like kind of adjacent this conversation out of Marathon into just like gaming. I do see how, to the point you brought up, the Concords, the High Guards of the world are really fascinating case studies. You know what? Here's a question. Was Concord a paid game? Concord was not free to play at launch. It was a $40 title.
Yeah, so
yeah, I mean, it's like there really is value to the question of like, bro, I don't want to be slapping my $40 down on the table and then them shut the fucking game down. That's true.
Yeah, and so like when I think you had said something like how do they kill the game so quickly? What that to me says is how extremely irresponsible they were.
Yeah.
Because here's what that is. That's the equivalent of I've spent the last 6 months, but I spend the next 6 months building my house. My house gets foreclosed on the first month. You're going to go, bro, what did you fucking do?
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't have built the house to begin with. Because the only way I could possibly get there is if I mortgaged my house to 110% before I moved in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because otherwise you should be able to like have some equity, have some fucking burn to like see how it's going to go. It shouldn't all depend on first week's sales. Otherwise you fucked up.
100%. And it feels like, yeah, dude. I mean, you're 100% right. Like, it feels like that is the metric so many people, because like, for example, I've heard over the past couple of days, 1 million versions. I was crashing out a little bit on somebody, like not in like I'm just like, dude, what do you want me to say? Because the conversation around like Bungie really needs this game to work. And if it doesn't have 100,000 concurrent players, Like, there's a real concern that Sony, because there's a lot of pressure on Sony for Bungie because of how Destiny 2 isn't performing, and they might shut it down. And I was like, dude, what are the metrics for any of the things you said? Like, Sony's mad at Bungie. How mad? How mad are they? Do you know? How bad is Destiny doing? We can see the player base, but how much money is it generating? Maybe there's whales making money. How many concurrent? You just pulled 100,000 concurrent players. How many? Like, even if everything you said is right in spirit, you don't know any of those numbers. You don't know how many player base Sony wants out of Bungie. You don't know what there's so much like information, like vibes based information about like the corporate like happenings, and it's like so I just don't know. I was like, I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't even know how you want me to respond, because like I'm not in charge of any of those things. Like, I get it. Like, they matter. Like, if Sony is putting a lot of pressure on Bungie and Bungie doesn't land the plane and they shut down Marathon, that is bad for me as the gamer. But what I'm just saying is, like, how am I to know any of the details around any of those pieces of information? You know what I mean? It's like, I just, maybe, I don't know. Like, it's so interesting. And yes, I think you're 100% right. Like, there's so much of an expectation in the gaming industry around these moments like Slay the Spire is having, and Mewgenics are having, and Arc Raiders had, right? Millions of copies, hundreds of thousands of people right away, flash in the pan. And sometimes with your New World had 1 million concurrent players its first weekend. And New World also announced that they're shutting down the doors. Now, credit to Amazon, they spent like 4 years putting out content for the game, trying to like get people back. So that's a good thing. And then you have your Arc Raiders, right? Where it's like, it blows up and still 4 or 5 months later, it's got like hundreds of thousands of players. But it just feels like that's the only goal. Like, and once again, this could be wrong, but that's what it felt like with Concord and with Highguard. It's like, oh, we didn't get the bajillion people playing immediately. Let's just cut our losses. Or maybe we don't have enough money. Like you said, like the burn rate's like 8 days. And if they don't make $1 billion in 8 days, they can't afford to keep people on. And you're like, well, that's not smart. Like,
which doesn't make sense. Like, just considering the fact that like, nobody pays bills once every 8 days.
Yes.
So it should at least be 30. Let's just say it should at least be 30, right? You know what I mean? Like, because there.
No, 100%. I'm with you, and it's sad because it's like, I mean, I know it's a meme, and I'm not even saying like everybody that memes on it is like a bad person. Like, I get the meme culture, but it's sad to think about how many like just like not C-suite level like human beings like worked on Highguard and were maybe passionate about it, or were hoping that this game would succeed so that they can go on to make other games. These people aren't working. Like, it's sad. My whole vibe is more good games, more better. I wanted Highguard to be good just because I wanted Elden Ring to be good, because I just like when there are more good games. I'm not saying I didn't think it was a good game. I'm just saying that, like, yeah, it's just such a weird thing to see these companies not only shut them down so quick, but shut games down so quick for games that they put so much money into. Because I think Concord was like a $200 million budget or something like that. Highguard was like a $200 million budget. And then Mewgenics was like a $84,000 budget or whatever it was. Like,
it was like $1 million budget. But that was
over 8 years.
Guys. Yeah, 2 guys, 2 engineers working for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Off of infinite money they made from previous games.
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like $200 million of investor money that they needed to make back. Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, everybody talking in chat like, sure, a single developer costs a lot, but you don't pay them every 8 days.
Yeah.
And if you can't pay your employees unless you sell 1 million copies of a game, you have no business in the fucking business.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
you've already messed up. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's what I'm.
Yeah.
I don't know how close this is to reality, but what I will say is that I experienced when I was in the startup industry, because I think I've told the story of I was in the startup industry basically until I got into the robotics industry. And I will say that there was one particular practice that I saw that was pattern. That was a pattern for one guy. I saw him do this 3 times in that time period.
Okay.
I was a part of it once. I was a part of it once. The people who I worked with were a part of it once before, and then I saw someone else do the same thing.
Okay.
Picture this. You are a startup CEO.
Okay.
You have a bunch of rich friends.
I wish.
Maybe you have, yeah. You're a streamer, okay? You do have rich friends. If you listen to Twitch chat, I would be one of them, or one of your poor friends, depending on who
depending on who you're talking to.
So you either have some rich friends, you have investors, maybe they're the same, one and the same, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll describe what happened with the company that I worked with. You have this great idea in the startup tech space, which is, if you think about it, almost like the Wild West, very similar to how the gaming space is right now, which is like, if I can sell you on an idea that sounds hot, FOMO, baby, you're going to throw some money in because you don't want to miss out on the Mewgenics, the blah, 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 the whatever.
I can convince you that you really don't want to miss out on this.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hire 15 of the most hotshot engineers. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to pay them each $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, 15 hotshot engineers, which 15 engineers, you can build some shit in some time, right?
Yeah.
So that's $1.5 million for the first year. This idea I have is a potentially big idea. You're going to invest $10 million.
Okay.
I'm going to spend, $1.5 million on engineering costs first year.
Yep.
Maybe $1 million on, we're going to rent some real estate in, like Boston or whatever.
For the office. Yep.
I am going to get one of those sick, like American Pickers, Mercedes traveling vans.
Yeah.
And put the tech logo company logo on the side.
Certainly.
Get it. And I'm going to lease that. It's going to be a company expense. I'm going to drive it. Brand new Mercedes. Don't worry about it. I'm going to pay myself a $300,000 salary. Give everybody benefits. Everybody blah, 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 blah. Cool. First year goes by. We've got promising numbers. There's big things. I'm going to need another $5 million.
Yep.
Same thing happens 2, 3, 4 years. Not a whole lot can happen in 1, 2, 3, 4 years. It's in development, right? We haven't launched yet, and it's in development. The initial alpha goes, below, blah, blah, blah. It goes to launch, totally flops. You fuck off. You just got paid $300,000 a year for 5 years. You got a free car. You got your lunches paid for by the company business card. You get all this other shit. These engineers, they got actually like a decent pay and whatever for whatever amount of time.
Yeah.
And guess what? You didn't have to fucking make anything real sustainable at all. It's fucking vaporware.
Yeah. That's insane. Like, I believe you, but that's insane.
And
yeah,
so,
dude, it's so funny. I was literally going to say, somebody said he's describing Ashes of Creation without trying. We talked like a couple of weeks ago about how Ashes of Creation folded. Since then, some like the tea got spilled. And it was that. It was like suddenly.
I haven't heard any of that, by the way.
I've been drip fed it by like a lot of my mods and some YouTubers I really respect. I've been watching some of their videos, and like all of a sudden we're realizing that like Steven Sharif's like $4 million mansion got built during the time the game was. There was just like a lot of that going on where it was
you can basically, like, if it fails, you're like
we tried.
All that's in it is your reputation, and it just so happened that this guy Terry, who did it with the company before.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it failed before, but like there was real promise and real hype.
Yeah.
And if you're just like a hype marketing bullshit guy, you can convince all of those people who invested, maybe $3, $4, $5 million, but they're like 100 millionaires, right? So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was promising and you almost made it, but now you've learned from it. So now the second one's going to be even better.
Yeah.
And he double dipped and did the same thing to all the same. Now I came into the second company and all of my buddies I worked with who it was like the same development team. And I came into the second one. They were like, this is like the third time he's done this.
That's crazy.
And I was there for 2 or 3 years. And so that means this guy was able to get 10, 15 years of
whatever pay package.
Chat.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you, like, now that I think about it, I was there every day, 40, 50 hours a week. Now, here's the thing. I got paid really well. It was like sexy. We were all sold. I was sold on, like, this is going to be a big thing. In hindsight, I realized, like, there was never a market for this.
Yeah,
but you get sold
for sure.
The dream.
100%. I've been there too.
So,
and apparently someone put it in chat. Apparently this is a quote from the game director. When you're out of time and money, you have to release a game with the runway available and hope players stick with you post-launch. And I think that's what Veritas and I are saying. We're not saying Highguard's failure was that they decided to close it after 30 days. We're saying that the failure was getting to a point where you have to launch the game with that little runway. We're saying that exactly. Like, the failure is earlier than that. It's not the fact that last week they chose to shut it down. I believe him. I believe that was probably the position he was put into, whether that was his fault or Tencent's fault or whatever. But what we're saying is that, like, companies
that's actually a separate thing.
Run that way.
That's a different thing, though.
What is?
Because so remember when we were talking about Highguard, and I can't speak to, now this was the director of Highguard. Okay, that's what he said.
Yeah, who knows?
That might have been the justification, but think about it. All he needed to do, now maybe this is conspiracy theory talk, maybe this is me seeing everything is a nail because I've experienced a hammer.
Oh,
right? Like,
yeah,
I'm seeing a pattern that doesn't exist. But imagine if I said, we have this genius idea for a thing. We somehow have ways to basically, like, raise a shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, put together an FPS game with hobbled together fucking assets from every bullshit store. Like, maybe it was never, like, the fact that it failed after 5 days just means they couldn't keep up the ruse anymore. If your investors think there's hype until you go to release it, there's no hype, and then you go, well, that sucks. I guess I'm onto something new. Maybe they just never planned on it ever being a fucking sustainable game.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's not that it was a failure.
We would never know, but I see what you're saying. And that,
yeah, so
and then that's what I was going to say was, like, going back to, like, to the gaming side of it and not the business side of it. I actually don't know how I don't know how much, like, testing Highguard did, but it like, I don't know, ever since, like, hearing about, like, how Arc Raiders did, they were doing extensive player testing and getting the feedback that the game just, like, wasn't enough when they pivoted to, like, making it a PvE game to a PvP game. And then they did extensive player testing that the vibes were way high. And then they did the non-NDA test, which is when I played it first. And I was like, oh my God, this game's amazing. And then we even see Deadlock doing the same thing, right? Like, I don't know if you've played Deadlock, but Deadlock is Valve's, it's like, for all intents and purposes, it's early access right now, but it's not early access like Tarkov was early access where they need the money. Valve has infinite money. It's in early access in the sense that, like, they just need players playing it, giving feedback. And so I just, like, I don't know how many people played Highguard. I don't know how many people played Concord. I don't know if when people played those games, that feedback was answered to. Once again, I'm not talking about, like, the business side. I'm just talking about, like, if you want to make a good game, I don't know. I'm just surprised that more games aren't doing it like Arc Raiders and, like, Deadlock. If you really want to make a game that is good. I don't know. Is gonna that people are gonna like. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But imagine a reality where like, if I don't know that I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to do this with Ark, but the problem is there isn't, because like, did Ark kind of come out of nowhere?
To a lot
or
of,
did they have marketing or?
well, okay. Oh yeah. So they did a lot of marketing for the game as a free to play PvE game.
Right. So, but Highguard like came out of nowhere without marketing.
Yes.
Which is what also makes me even think whoever made that decision, they were either scammed or they were in on the scam. Because like, they either got sold the whole, no, actually it's going to be genius if we don't market it.
Yeah.
Because the moment it would have gotten marketed, everyone would have said, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It just, once again, I'm very ignorant on like the gaming thing and the like industry and stuff, but it just is wild to see things like, it's just wild to see games that are so expensive to make bomb so spectacularly and then get canceled so quickly. Like I said, the New World example is sad, but at the same time, I respect the fact that they stuck with it for like so many years and like really tried to turn it around. That's the benefit of having Amazon money, right? There's like Amazon Game Studios published that. And then once again with Deadlock, I understand not everybody's in that spot. Deadlock has Valve money, right? Where they can just make whatever game they want to make. But I know that it's all money, you know what I mean? But it's like, but making a better game makes more money sometimes. So we should focus on that, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah.
So it's just interesting. It is sad to see that happen. But I don't know. Interesting stuff.
Yikes, dude.
But yeah.
What a fucking dude, the gaming space is so fucking weird now.
It is very weird. And I'm hoping for like I don't know. I'm hoping for like basically this, like, yeah, like a correction. We're seeing a lot of smaller games go really big. Balatro, Expedition 33, Mewgenics, Slay the Spire, even Arc Raiders is like more of a, I don't know what the difference between a AA or a AAA studio is. I know they're smaller than fucking EA. You know what I mean? Like we're having these like games go crazy.
Slay the Spire was 10 devs, I think.
That's insane.
Googling it at least.
And then at the same time, we're having the Concords, we're having the High Guards, we're having the Call of Duty fatigue, we're having the Battlefield fatigue, we're having the like IP fatigue. You know, the same thing that happened with like Marvel movies, where like there was just like a moment where everyone was like, too many. So like we're having to have like Call of Duty, like, so it's just, I wonder what's next for the gaming industry.
A little bit of what I think I was like trying to articulate a few weeks ago too, when it comes to like when I was talking about how I was, I don't remember the terminology, phraseology. I was like not bullish on like Marathon.
Yeah.
Because like I'm feeling that fatigue, and I have been for a bit. And, you know, maybe I don't know, maybe I'm just a trendsetter and I'm ahead of the game, or maybe I'm just old. I don't, you know, and maybe I'm old and I'm just right by accident, or, you know, or maybe I'm totally wrong. Right. But like, what I was getting at was that like this fatigue can be self-fulfilling.
Yeah.
If a bunch of games all of a sudden failed for whatever reason, and then another game that doesn't deserve to fail is about to come out.
Yes.
Like the hype would fail to build up around it.
For sure.
So, which is kind of what I was talking about when I was saying like the art style. Like the art style isn't bad. It just looks like too many games that I think have like failed recently.
There's like a consciousness and a momentum to the gaming industry that's apart from any game or genre. And when you get enough catastrophic failures from like games that were very obviously bad, but then like the suits thought it was very obviously good, that momentum just carries forward is kind of what you're saying to like other projects that might be perfectly serviceable, but there's this fatigue and this like momentum to this like what's happening in the gaming industry, and then you start to see the holes in places that places that there have always been holes, but you're just now noticing them. Maybe you're starting to see them in places that they're not really there, but like there's this momentum.
Like you're building, you're a home builder, and you're building like the most high quality development. You know, it's going to be like the best quality, super awesome value. You know, whatever. And a month before you're about to finish, the housing bubble bursts.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how fucking good your house is. You're kind of just fucked that there's based on timing.
Yes, there's some movement and momentum completely out of the control of any one development team, any one genre of games, that there's some momentum. And so kind of going back, my hope is that like some of the great successes that are happening in the past, couple of years, move that invisible force, that gaming consciousness in the right direction. You know what I mean? Because the $500 million games that suck, you know what I mean, is not fun for anyone in the industry. The $1 million games that fucking rock are great. You know what I mean? So,
and there's one other thing that came to mind too, that kind of real quick, touching on one of the previous conversations we had. When I get into new games, very often I get like excited to like immerse myself in them, and part of that is like consuming content.
Mm-hmm.
And if a game dies, then a lot of times like creators just kind of move away from it. You don't have so that's like another element of it too, where it's like in many ways like there's more to a game, a multiplayer game, even a single player game, than like how many people are concurrent players in your server that you could play with today. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, because the difference between 1,000 players, 1,000,000 players, and 7 players in a custom raid, you'll never notice.
Yes. And
right,
man,
well, how many YouTube videos come out? 10 million from all the best creators, or 7 from some niche creators, or literally none.
That makes a big difference, bro. And you're so connecting on something we've been talking about on stream quite a bit, which I've been saying that because like people are saying like, people are like, Marathon is fun, but I'm sad it didn't hit 100,000 concurrent players. And I've been asking that question, like, what's the difference between 10,000 and 100,000 concurrent players if you close your eyes, if you turn that off? And it's funny because like you unironically answered that. What people want is a community of people that enjoy this game. That's going to be some content creators, some friends, and then maybe some online friends. And I think that desire gets misplaced onto the concurrent player base. And it really is just like number needs to be high. Slay the Spire has 500,000 people playing. If Marathon doesn't have 500,000 people playing, this is going to die. When in the reality, if you close the blinds, a game with 30 to 50,000 concurrent players can have a thriving community. Like that's what we were talking about. I was like, we never knew Tarkov's concurrent player base. And think about how many YouTube videos, how many guides, how many streamers, how many like it was okay that you didn't know because you weren't putting the cart before the horse. You saw the community, so you wanted to get into Tarkov. You didn't need there to be X amount of thousand of concurrent players online to convince you there was a community. Just look if there's a community. There, Helldivers 2 doesn't have 100,000 concurrent players playing it. Somebody said earlier, Squad doesn't have 100,000, but these games have thriving communities. And so it's like, so it's funny because you answered my question actually with a good answer that made me chew on it. And then, got me there where it's like that desire for a community of content creators, of friends is a good thing. It's just concurrent player base is not the singular metric for that. You know what I mean? It's not
but it's another one of those things where it's people don't fucking know what they want.
Yeah. Or how to describe it. Yeah.
Yeah, because like whether or not the game is good, I mean, even someone like if there's 7 people playing the game, that means that there's 30 people watching Twitch streams, which means that there's 300 views total that will be distributed on YouTube.
Yeah.
That will determine whether or not you ever make another video about the game.
Certainly, for sure.
And so like that is another one of the things about the ecosystem where it's like, yeah, you know, the more JesseKazams are making videos about the game, if your stream is popping off, that would almost make you probably have even more fun and excitement over it, make more content, and it becomes a self-fulfilling thing because then the devs get more involved, they get more incentivized to make the game better. So there's just like a lot.
And there's all sorts of metas around it where like, you want to know something funny? Our graders, by every metric, is crushing Marathon. Concurrent players, week 1, like all that kind of stuff.
Which game? Sorry, I missed.
Arc Raiders?
Arc Raiders, yeah.
My channel died because it's different. Like, I was a big fish in a small pond in Tarkov because I built that community over 8 years. Well, when Tfue and Ninja and Summit and Shroud and It's Timmy and Nick Merckx and Hutch and Peanut, when they're all playing the same game, I didn't change size, but now I'm a small fish, and not even a small fish in a pond, a small fish in an ocean. So I'm more excited to like, it's in this like weird circle where like, I'm actually more excited to make content for Marathon because it's going to be a more niche game, because I feel like I can kind of do my Tarkov thing and like maybe provide value that people are looking for, or try something new and have a better chance of me trying that new thing, making a splash in the thing. Whereas it's really hard to contend with, you know, games where it's like these 3 people are holding down 90% of the viewership in the category. So like whoever's going to come to my stream, you know what I mean? So it's like, it is a weird thing, but don't count out the medium size communities is all I'm trying to say. The game doesn't have to have 250,000 concurrent players to be successful. Some of the most fun games and communities sit in that middle ground. Because to your point, yes, you're absolutely right. 100 concurrent players means the game is dead. Nobody's making YouTube videos. Nobody's streaming. That community's not there. So there is a number. I don't know where that number is, but it doesn't have to be 250,000 in order for a community to be strong.
Yeah, but I mean, I think part of the difference too is that like there's a ton of games that, you know, like I think what was one of the games you said? Fucking
like Helldivers or
Arma
Squad.
A squad. Like if someone was looking for a medium-sized community to jump into, there's a million tried and true uncontentious games. So when there's a new game that didn't pop off, then people just must think, it must not be, you know, the new hotness. And I think when you were talking about like the size of streamers, what's kind of funny is that like I almost feel like there's this pattern sometimes that we'll see, and I think we saw it with Tarkov. The people that are big in Tarkov now, or at least in the last year or two, they were the third wave.
Yeah.
Because like what you had is a bunch of, there were people like at different times, the Mees, the Jessies, that were on like one level. There was folks like Deadly and Smoke and Cotton and Sequisha.
Yeah.
That played it. The game was getting popular and popular and popular and popular. They were playing it. Then they basically were like, I'm over it. I'm going to move on to something else. I've been playing it forever. You know, my channel's big enough where I can do more variety stuff. A bunch of big names got into the game at different points, brought other people in. And then like the Trays, the Desmonds, and the Hyper Rats.
Yeah.
Like, I hadn't heard of Hyper Rat until I had like, it was like a month before I stopped playing.
Yeah.
Was when like Hyper Rat was blowing up.
Yeah.
you know, like even Desmond.
Oh,
I don't think Desmond didn't have 1,000. I don't know what his viewership is now because I'm not even watching Twitch, but like he didn't have 1,000 viewers when I stopped playing. Desmond was at like 300 concurrent viewers.
Yeah, and even
so, like,
that was relatively new. Yeah.
What you see now, it's like it's people coming in later after like the game had matured and left.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
So there's like an interesting thing where it's like what's going to end up happening is the sad truth is that, like, you know, folks like Jesse are going to come in at the same time as Tfue. They're going to get all the audience. Jesse's not going to get, you know, the audience he deserves. And at some point, it's probably not going to be financially viable, you know, for him to play, whether it's Arc, whether it's Marathon, whatever game it is. And then Tfue's going to move on. Jesse's going to move on. A bunch of other people are going to come in. And then, like, if the games continue to go, those are going to be like the people who get like the extra like remainder leftovers that can then develop their own communities. And it just kind of depends on whether or not the people who get in like early either have the interest or the sustainability to like ride it for a long period of time. Yeah, I don't know, dude. This whole thing is such a meta.
Yes.
Every game is a startup. Every streamer is a startup. You know,
that's what it feels like.
Every game is a company. Every game is a company. Every streamer is a company. The problem is that like streamers, when new product comes out, who's gonna survive? The mom and pop store or the Amazon?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, that's a good analogy, because then it's like all the Amazon and Walmart and wherever, they went to this city and they were like playing in Arc Raiders, and I'm like, I'm gonna go open my store down in Timbuktu where it's like all mom and pop shops. You know what I mean? I got a better chance to survive down there. But yeah, no, I mean it's wild. But all that to say, I'm having fun, and that's what the vibes are about.
That's what fucking matters.
Yep. So, but yeah. So, that's the stuff. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's really anything else. That is the stuff. Thank you guys for hanging. Thank you for being here. If you want even more content, bro, did you see any of the comments in the Discord after the most recent PP episode? There's so many people are like, I need whatever Jesse and Veritas are smoking. Like, just because we were both so like groggy and slow for the first like 10 minutes of that, and then it just ramped into some crazy.
But then the fucking brownies kicked in.
Yeah, dude, and then it just ramped into some crazy conversation. A bunch of people were like, "Bro, whatever the hell you guys are smoking, I need it." So,
oh my god! Speaking of, wait, real quick, I took a screenshot of this. Okay. This was a random YouTube poll from some channel. I don't even know if I'm subscribed to or not. No, I'm not. I don't know why it showed up. But this was like 6 days ago.
Okay.
Who is the better actor? And it was Keanu Reeves, Jason Statham, Liam Neeson, and Nicolas Cage.
Nice.
What do you think the breakdown was?
Jason Statham, Liam Neeson, Nicolas Cage. Who was the first one? Keanu Reeves. I think it was 40% Nick Cage, 25% Keanu, and the other two were the rest.
You're pretty fucking close.
I'm so good.
I voted Keanu just because not necessarily because he's the better actor, but just because I like Keanu.
Yeah.
You know, Nicolas Cage, 36%.
Oh!
Keanu, 33%.
Okay.
Liam Neeson, 28%. Jason Statham, 3%.
Nice. Okay.
And for context, we were talking about, someone asked the question, I was Caged, asked the question, are we Nicolas Cage lovers or haters in the house? And if haters, why are you wrong?
Yeah.
And we were basically talking about how Nicolas Cage, very much like Nickelback, is somehow receiving like this weird hipster renaissance where like suddenly they are no longer like cringy memes.
Yeah.
People like are unironically like, actually, wait, we actually like them now.
Yep.
And so I just couldn't believe that after that conversation, 2 days later, I see a fucking YouTube poll and I see Nicolas Cage at 36%.
So great. So great. So if you want conversations like that, head to patreon.com/the Pogcast pod. You can get early ad-free access to these episodes when we don't do them on Saturdays. I'm sorry. That's my fault. And additional episodes that we film over there. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for being a part of the community. Thank you to The Perfect Gene for sponsoring this episode. And we will definitely see y'all on the next one.
Peace.